It's very important to always keep an open mind when you're addressing issues of politics or religion. I think it's very, very, very important to seek out opposing points of view, to argue with people, to engage with people who think differently than you. That's the only way you're ever going to expand your mind. It's the only way you're ever going to hone your own thinking and sharpen your own arguments, and just to make sure that you're right and that the other guy's not right. Now, one of the ways to do that is to seek out serious thinkers who hold the opposing viewpoint of yours. You can find well-regarded, renowned political philosophers and religious philosophers and things like that, and read their points of view and construct your own arguments, your own responses to those. And that's good, and that's something that people should do, I think. Or you can do what I usually do and just listen to a lot of right-wing talk radio. If you are a liberal, like I suppose I am, it will piss you off and exasperate you, but it will also expose you to that different side of thinking. It will not expose you to good conservative thinking, because that is not what right-wing radio is for, but it will at least expose you to a very broad caricature of the conservative mindset. And unfortunately, that is the mindset that a lot of our fellow citizens have. One of my favorite / least favorite right-wing radio hosts to listen to is Mark Levin. I have to take him in very small doses because he is just one of the most shrill voices you will ever hear, and just completely uninterested in engaging with the other side, completely uninterested in having a conversation with someone who disagrees with him, just completely shouts over and browbeats people who hold opposite points of view. He's actually a great object lesson in how not to be when engaging those of differing points of view. But the other day, I had a very amusing thought. I thought, what if Mark Levin were a liberal? He had the same personality, had the same shrill voice, the same sort of knee-jerk response to those who disagreed with him and to those who were members of the other political party. But instead of being a Republican shill, he was a Democrat shill. He was a liberal instead of a crazy conservative. How would that sound? Well, here, I think, is how that would sound.
He's here. He's here. Now, broadcasting from the underground command post, deep in the bowels of a hidden bunker, somewhere under the brick and steel of a nondescript building, we've once again made contact with our leader, Mark Levin.
Hello, everyone. This is Mark Levin. Let's talk about these Republican presidential candidates. I see over the weekend that this former governor of Minnesota, this Tim Pawlenty, dropped out of the race. I guess the voters in Iowa had plenty of him. But let's talk about some of these other Republican presidential candidates, like Mitt Romney. You know, what kind of a name is Mitt Romney? Can you imagine President Mitt? Yeah, that's great. President Mitt. Hey, everybody, let's sing Hail to the Chief. You know, ladies and gentlemen, I thought a mitt was something that you used to catch a baseball. I thought that a mitt was something that you put on at the filling station so your hands wouldn't smell like gas. Mitt Romney? You know, the thing about Mitt Romney, the reason why that Mitt Romney is never going to be the president of the United States is that he's a moron. And the American people are just not going to... Actually, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. It seems I was reading my notes a bit too fast. I thought my notes said something, and in fact they said something else. I said Mitt Romney was a moron. He's actually a Mormon. But the other one works good, too! And who else do we have in the elite Republican presidential field? Who else do we have that they're going to put up against the President Barack Obama? What do we have here? What, Michelle Bachmann? Really? Michelle Bachmann? Bachmann? What kind of a name is that? A guy with the last name Levin feels real comfortable voting for a woman named Bachmann. She's got the name of a Nazi, and she's probably got the morals of one, too. Let me tell you something, and I'll tell you this straight from the heart. It's going to be a cold day in hell before the American people elect a fundamentalist religious fascist like Michelle Bachmann to be the President of the United States. And you know why? Because the American people love their Constitution, and they know that there's separation of church and state inscribed in their Constitution by the Founding Fathers. Why does Michelle Bachmann hate the Constitution? If she thinks it's so terrible here, why doesn't she move someplace else? If she wants to live in some sort of a religious dictatorship, Saudi Arabia is nice this time of year, I hear. She could move to Israel. If she wants to live in a Christian dictatorship, why not move to the Vatican? Oh, that's right. She can't move to the Vatican because she thinks that the Pope is the Antichrist. And who else do we have on the Republican side? Oh, that's right. One last big heavyweight to deal with, and that's the governor of Texas, Rick Perry. Let me ask you something, folks. Has anybody seen George W. Bush around lately? Because I think Rick Perry murdered him and is wearing his skin. Why would Rick Perry want to be the president of the United States? Moreover, more to the point, I should say, why would anyone vote for Rick Perry as president of the United States? Wasn't he the one who just last year was whining and moaning that he wanted to secede from the Union because the federal government wasn't going to give him his way? Last year he's going to secede from the Union, now he wants to leave the Union? What does that tell you? It tells you that he's a phony politician who's listening to the voices in his head, and not just the voice of God, but the voice of those people on his staff who have their White House jobs already picked out, ready to go. They've already picked out the furniture they're going to have in their fancy D.C. apartments when they move up there from Texas. You know, there's another reason why Rick Perry might be the Republican nominee, but he's sure as hell not going to be the president of the United States. And that reason is this. The Republicans don't all like him. Oh yeah, he's got a lot of opposition from his own side, even if he manages to squeak ahead of Romney in the primaries. One of his problems is they think he's soft on illegal immigration. Oh yeah, these Republicans, they love to talk about how we have to fix the immigration problem. We got to take care of the illegal immigrants. You wonder why Perry's so soft on illegal immigrants? You wonder why in Texas, not many people know this, in Texas, illegal immigrants can pay in-state tuition to attend state schools. Oh yeah, that's under a Republican governor. You wonder why Rick Perry has some problems with his own party? But it's no wonder that Rick Perry is a little soft on illegal immigrants. For the last 10 years, he's been the governor of a state that was founded by illegal immigrants. We stole it from the Mexicans. Those Texicans that moved in there, they weren't legal immigrants to Mexico. They moved in because they wanted to turn Texas into a state, into a slave state. And they accomplished exactly that. And that's the legacy that you'll be electing to the White House if you elect Rick Perry. And it's not going to happen because the American people just aren't that stupid. Now, Mr. Producer, I have to take a break. It's called a hard break here in the radio business. But on the other side of this break, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about this idiot Michael Savage. Michael Weiner is his actual name. And Bill O'Reilly, or as I like to call him, the non-factor, because even though I'm a liberal now, I still hate their guts! We'll be right back.